Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we are going to look at the 4 latest Arsenal news. The first Arsenal news is that Fabrizio Romano has confirmed an Arsenal update, as he confirms phenomenal Arsenal target has just been put up for sale, as Arsenal look to complete the signing of World Cup France international and PSG forward Kylian Mbappe. The latest news from reliable journalist Fabrizio Romano suggests that Arsenal target Kylian Mbappe does not have a future at Paris Saint-Germain. Reports have linked Arsenal with the French striker, and other reports have also suggested that Real Madrid are also interested. The 24-year-old talisman has a contract until the summer of 2024. And recent reports suggested that he was not keen to sign a new deal at PSG. If this is true, then PSG would either have to risk losing him on a free transfer next season, or they would have to sell him this summer. Romano's latest update suggests that PSG have made their decision. The phenomenal player is no doubt one of the best forwards on the planet. The fact that his have now been put up for sale is huge news this summer. Romano's first update, which broke last night, said, "Understand PSG consider Mbappe for sale. Paris Saint-Germain feel Kylian Mbappe wants to leave for free in 2024. He did not communicate anything yet despite Al-Khelafi's public statement. PSG decided to exclude Kylian from Japan tourney." He then added more context to the situation as he said, "More on Mbappe. PSG feel betrayed as they're certain Kylian has already agreed a free transfer with Real Madrid." This despite Mbappe in interviews said he'd never leave PSG for free. Paris don't want to be paralyzed by the demands of one player. This is a huge update, and it will be really interesting to see how Mbappe reacts. He cannot be sidelined for a season and wait for a free transfer. This would ruin his growth. It could be the perfect time for Arsenal to make a move, should they want to take their interest further this summer transfer window. This may now be a lot harder as the club have already made multiple signings. This would have no doubt taken a large chunk out of their transfer budget. It may seem Mbappe be unaffordable at this current time. With him also excluded from the PSG pre-season tour, it looks like his club want this situation resolved as quickly as possible. The second Arsenal news is that The Sun has confirmed an Arsenal update, as they confirm Arsenal want £75,000 a week midfielder who Pep Guardiola rates highly, as Arsenal look to complete the signing of Brazil international and Aston Villa midfielder Douglas Luiz. Arsenal are reportedly looking for more midfield reinforcements ahead of the end of the summer transfer window. The Gunners have already signed Declan Rice and Kai Havertz, who can play in midfield, these last few weeks, however. With Thomas Partey's future still somewhat uncertain, Arsenal are apparently keeping their options open. According to The Sun, the Gunners have rekindled their interest in Aston Villa star Douglas Luiz. Arsenal are apparently set to lock horns with Tottenham Hotspur over the Brazilian midfielder's signature. Links between the Gunners and Luiz are nothing new, though they are starting to do the rounds once again. Arsenal reportedly tried their luck in September last year with a £25 million bid for Luiz, but Villa turned it down. The 25-year-old then penned a new contract later in the year, reportedly worth £75,000 a week. He's developing really well. In 2021, Pep Guardiola spoke highly of Luiz after a game between Manchester City and Villa. He told the Manchester Evening News, "He's a guy who's played a lot of minutes. An important player for Aston Villa, a guy who's clever with the ball. He's so physical and strong. He's a lovely guy." Unfortunately, when he came, due to the work permit, he could not play. "I'm happy he's developing really well. We've all seen what Luiz is capable of in the Premier League and on the international stage. He would be a superb signing for Arsenal, but you have to wonder how much Villa would ask for him. The Villains are in no need of selling. They hold all the cards thanks to Luiz's new contract, and as a club, they are on the up." With all that in mind, Arsenal, and indeed Spurs, will have a difficult job on their hands trying to convince Luiz's club to sell. The third Arsenal news is that La Gazzetta dello Sport has confirmed an Arsenal update, as they confirm after Arsenal talks, West Ham now actively trying to sign Lightning striker, as Arsenal look to complete the signing of World Cup Serbia international and Juventus forward Dusan Vlahovic. David Moyes' West Ham United are now reportedly trying to beat Mikel Arteta's Arsenal to the signing of Dusan Vlahovic. According to La Gazzetta dello Sport, West Ham United are interested in signing Juventus striker Dusan Vlahovic, a player Arsenal are also keen on. The Italian publication has reported that West Ham have made inquiries about getting a deal done for Vlahovic. Juventus want €80 million, £69. 19 million in transfer fees for the 23-year-old Serbia international striker, who is lightning and whose left foot is like a wand, according to former Manchester City and Fiorentina defender Micah Richards on BBC Radio 5 Live in December 2021. For €80 million, £68.57 million. Earlier this month, CM reported that Vlahovic's agent, Darko Ristic, has held talks with Arsenal over the Juventus striker potentially moving to the Gunners in the summer transfer window. Ristic held talks with Chelsea and Manchester United as well regarding the former Fiorentina star. West Ham United unlikely to beat Arsenal to Dusan Vlahovic signing. We do not think that West Ham United will be able to sign Dusan Vlahovic from Juventus ahead of the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea and Manchester United. Arsenal are a massive club that almost won the Premier League title last season. The Gunners will play in the UEFA Champions League next season and will be determined to challenge for the Premier League title in the coming years. West Ham almost got relegated to the Championship at the end of the season. True, the Hammers won the UEFA Europa Conference League last season, but we do not think that Vlahovic would be keen on switching to a club who are unlikely to play in the UEFA Champions League anytime soon or challenge for the Premier League title. Vlahovic scored 10 goals and gave 2 assists in 22 Serie A starts for Juventus last season. During the 2021-22 season, the Serbian striker scored 17 goals and gave 2 assists in 21 Serie A appearances for Fiorentina, and scored 7 goals and provided 1 assist in 12 Serie A starts for Juve. The final Arsenal news is that Fabrizio Romano has confirmed an Arsenal update, as he confirms Arsenal long-time target closing in on £25 million move to Champions League rivals, as Arsenal look to complete the signing of Nigeria international and Villarreal attacker Samuel Chukwueze. Another player linked with Arsenal this summer appears to be edging closer to joining a Champions League rival. Earlier today, we reported that Noah Okafor, who the Gunners were linked with ahead of the summer window, was seemingly heading to AC Milan. Admittedly, Arsenal's interest in the player didn't seem particularly concrete for Okafor. However, one player the Gunners have apparently been eyeing for a long time now also seems to be heading to Italy. The player in question is Samuel Chukwueze, who Arsenal have been linked with since Arsene Wenger was in charge. Indeed, the Gunners came close to signing the Nigeria international when he was still a teenager. Chukwueze spoke to El Periodico Mediterraneo earlier this year about his failed move to the Emirates Stadium. He said he flew to London to sign for Arsenal following the Under-17 FIFA World Cup in Chile in 2015. The Gunners wanted to sign him. However, the deal collapsed after they couldn't agree a deal with his club in Nigeria. Well, Calciomercato reported in June that Arsenal was still among the clubs hoping to sign Chukwueze. However, the Gunners seem to have run out of time to sign the 24-year-old. As he looks Milan-bound, journalist Rudy Galletti has taken to Twitter to claim the Rossoneri hope to close the deal by Sunday. Talks are at an advanced stage for a deal in the region of €28 million, £25 million, added the reporter. Fabrizio Romano corroborated Galletti's report, saying negotiations are advancing between Milan and Villarreal. Chukwueze is keen on a move to the San Siro. The Italian added on Twitter, "That's a real shame for Arsenal and their fans." The Gunners have had their eye on Chukwueze for a long time. Now, it looks like Milan will be getting their hands on him, barring a late collapse in negotiations. With both teams in the Champions League, there's a good chance Arsenal could come up against them next term. At the same time, the Gunners can be happy with their transfer business so far this summer. Kai Havertz, Jerian Timber, and Declan Rice have all come in to bolster the spine of Mikel Arteta's squad. Do you know the Arsenal news on Moises Caicedo? You will enjoy this video on your screen too.